Hi, if I look at the root level directory of your code base right now, what does it tell me? Does it scream Spring Boot? Does it scream Ruby on Rails? Or does it scream a healthcare system or a banking application? Most of us are building web-based Java apps instead of actual business solutions. We have let our frameworks become our architecture. Uncle Bob calls this screaming architecture. If your design doesn't shout its purpose from the root folder, you are building a house around a hammer, not a family. In clean architecture, we learn how to make the web a detail and the database a plugin. We learn how to make our code independent, testable, and most importantly, focused on the use case. Stop letting your frameworks dictate your design. Let's make your architecture scream. Today we delve deeper into the philosophy of robust software design, exploring chapters 21 and 22 of Robert C. Martin's seminal work, Clean Architecture. We will uncover the concepts of screaming architecture and the overarching principles that define the clean architecture, focusing on how to center our designs around use cases for maximum flexibility and longevity. A truly well-designed architecture should scream about its use cases, not about the frameworks it employs. When a new developer looks at your code base, their first impression should be of the system's purpose. Is it a healthcare system, an accounting system, or an inventory management system? It should not immediately reveal whether it's built with Rails, Spring, or React. The architecture's primary role is to communicate the business domain, not the technical tools. The fundamental purpose of a good architecture is to allow for the deferral of decisions. By centering our design on use cases, we create a structure that enables us to postpone commitments to specific frameworks, databases, or web servers until much later in the development cycle. This approach ensures that frameworks remain what they should be, powerful tools, not architectural dictators. A flexible architecture makes it easy to change your mind about these choices down the line. It's crucial to understand that the web, while ubiquitous, is merely a delivery mechanism, an I/O device. Your core application architecture should be as ignorant as possible about how it will be delivered. Whether your system is deployed as a console application, a web application, a thick client, or a web service, the fundamental architecture should remain unchanged. This independence from delivery details is a hallmark of a truly clean design. We must approach frameworks with a jaded eye and a healthy dose of skepticism. While incredibly useful, frameworks often come with their own philosophies and can subtly or not so subtly try to dictate your architecture. It's vital to develop a strategy that prevents the framework from taking over your design. Keep them at arm's length, using them for their utility while preserving the use case emphasis of your own architecture. A direct benefit of a screaming architecture is its inherent testability. If your architecture truly prioritizes use cases and keeps frameworks at bay, you should be able to unit test all your core business logic and use cases without needing a web server running or a database connected. Your entities should be plain old objects, free from external dependencies, making your system intrinsically verifiable and robust. Next, we synthesize these ideas into the clean architecture characterized by 5 key independence. It's independent of frameworks, testable, independent of the UI, independent of the database, and independent of any external agency. These characteristics ensure that the business rules, the true heart of the system, remain isolated and protected from the volatile external world. The cornerstone of the clean architecture is the dependency rule. This rule states that source code dependencies must point only inward toward high-level policies. Nothing in an inner circle like your business rules can know anything at all about something in an outer circle like your database or UI. This strict inward pointing dependency ensures that changes in outer, less important layers do not impact the stable core business logic. The clean architecture is typically depicted as concentric circles representing distinct layers. At the core are entities encapsulating enterprise-wide business rules. Surrounding them are use cases which contain application-specific business rules. Next, we have interface adapters which convert data between the use cases and external agencies. Finally, the outermost layer consists of frameworks and drivers housing tools like databases and web frameworks. Each layer adheres to the dependency rule pointing inward. When data crosses these architectural boundaries, it must do so in a form most convenient for the inner circle. This means using simple data structures, often referred to as data transfer objects or DTOs, rather than parsing entity objects or database rows directly. This practice prevents inner circles from inheriting unwanted dependencies on outer layers, maintaining their independence and reusability. Consider a typical web-based scenario. A controller gathers user input and passes it as a simple request model to a use case interactor. The interactor orchestrates the entities, applying business rules, and retrieves necessary data via a data access interface. The result is then packaged into a response model passed to a presenter, which formats it into a view model for the view to display. Notice how all dependencies point inward while data flows across boundaries in simple decoupled forms. In summary, conforming to the principles of clean architecture, screaming architecture, the dependency rule, and layered design provides immense benefits. It saves countless headaches by ensuring long-term stability, makes system intrinsically testable, and allows obsolete elements like databases or frameworks to be replaced with minimum fuss. By prioritizing use cases and isolating business rules, we build software that is resilient, adaptable, and truly clean. Now is action time. Let's take a look at one of your code bases and see how you can answer these questions. 1. When you look at the root level of your repo, does it scream its purpose? Like whether it's an inventory management system, an infrastructure management system, or it's a banking application. Are you able to test your application without running a database, without running a web server, or without running any other applications? How do you transfer data between different components of your application? Should one component be aware of data modules in another component, or you are transferring objects as simple plain old objects? Finally, what actions you can take to give your architecture a screaming design. If you like this content, please like, comment, share and subscribe for similar content in the future. See you in another video. Until then, elevate.